Lol no, I did the girl Snapchat filter and I looked exactly like my sister. Plus I'm gay anyways. Would you date an opposite sex version of yourself? Why and why not? What's up my bro, so glad you can join your boy Andrew for another sick story time. Make me proud and hit that MF like button and subscribe if you want to see more NSFW stories. If you sub, I'll send you Belle Delphine's bathwater. Enough simping, let's start the stories. That loser? Maybe. Duck yeah, self-say is best say. Two shy people, neither of whom is ready to speak first. Not likely. I think I'm a fun, well-rounded individual who has my life put together. I'd totally love to hang out with me. Plus, having the same views on money management would be a great bonus. After being in a relationship with someone I had nothing in common with, it'd be cool. If I had my depression under control, I'd date Meal Mao. No way. If I ever made him mad, he would start doing the silent treatment. I'd then do a silent treatment when I realize I was receiving the silent treatment. We would both die without ever talking to each other again without even knowing exactly why that was. I'm a female. Certainly yes. It's good to share same interests, same moral and same weak sides. He wouldn't be annoyed because of things I do, and I wouldn't be mad at him. He wouldn't assume me to do thing I hate and vice versa. He'd always look good, never smoke or get drunk as ducking pig. Yes. The perfect boyfriend for me is me, but in male body. Well, no, first because I'm married, and second because, since I'm an identical twin, I already know how more me ends up, more or less. I'd love to talk to said person, compare notes, and just generally chit-chat. My wife would probably find it equal parts fascinating and freaky, but no, not dating, just good friends. My son would love the new auntie though, I'd bet. My last girlfriend and I were so similar that we joked that we were the same person from alternate universes. I've never had a relationship feel so easy from the outset, never clicked with anyone sexually so quickly, never missed anyone more when the relationship ended. That was a year ago, almost to the day in fact. She and I are still friends. In short, yes I would because it was amazing. Sounds appealing on the surface, but honestly I think we'd both spiral out of control. It'd be fun for a while, but pretty sure we'd end up drowning in a pool of our own vomit. Need someone to balance out my crappiness and able to tell me when I'm being a crap hole. If I had Anso that agreed with everything I said or did it'd be utter chaos. Sure. I get along great with myself. The major downside would be though, there would be no covering for each other's weaknesses and complementing each other's strengths. I could do with someone who challenges me, not just agree with me. Don't get me wrong, someone who enjoys all the things I do would be awesome, but I think in the long run, it might be a little boring. Nope. We'd technically be brother-sister, plus we'd have exactly the same background history, with exactly the same thoughts, etc. That sounds incredibly boring. The fact that my wife is her own person, with unique perspectives, is a big part of why I like her so much. I mean, as long as we're not actually twins or clones or anything. Not interested in incest. But a woman who's basically me in terms of personality, likes, life goals, then hell yeah. Honestly, a big deterrent to me dating anybody is the fact that I'm planning on moving to another country in 2 years. Being with someone equally as passionate about that move and overcoming the language hurdles together would be awesome. I'd prefer if they had slightly different career goals though. Researching the exact same thing would likely get to be bothersome. God no. No way. Imho, my relationship with my fiancé is strong because of our shared interests and our differences. The ways in which we differ is what keeps us from falling into harmful ruts and patterns. The opposite sex version of me would have the same interests and goals, sure, but they'd have severe anxiety and be prone to unhealthy levels of avoidance and antisocial behavior. They'd have oodles of family trauma, mediocre financial standing, and be vulnerable to manipulative people. Also, two people with insomnia sharing the same bed would be a nightmare. We'd constantly be waking each other up. We'd probably end up being mean as duck to each other, too, because we'd see the worst of ourselves in each other. I think I'd pass. Absolutely. Assuming there's any physical attraction, we enjoy the same things, have similar standards, care about the same people, it'd be a good match. Are all of my traits awesome for dating? No, but I of all people can understand them and where she'd be coming from, and no one is more used to living with me and the consequences of that than I am. It's a good deal, I think. At worst, we both learn a lot about ourselves and we grow as people. I think it'd work out, but if it didn't? Well, it was fun trying. In the short term, I'd probably have a blast with myself. Sex would always be a 10. Food would match up perfectly. Wanna go out this weekend? Nah, staycation all the way. I think it would be fun to knock out bucket list items with herself. Long term is where it would break apart. We'd both have the exact same downfalls and shortcomings. Dishes would never get done until we piss each other enough to do them. Cooking would be very intermittent but extravagant. Being in a relationship would inspire me to try and work on myself to be better, but without support, I'm not sure I could take the next step. We'd have some high highs, but low lows. Meh, worth a shot. No. My opposite sex version of me would be really fun to hang out with, but not stable enough for a long-term thing. I need someone to counterbalance my personal deficiencies, someone who has their crap together and acts responsible and cares about their career, stuff like that. Dating the opposite sex version of me would result in feeding each other's negative characteristics until we end up blasted out of our minds in Vegas, gambling away every cent we have. Me and my so are very different and have different interests and ideas about how to spend time. Sometimes that causes conflict. But it's a manageable kind of conflict, and I deeply value the more important ways in which she is different than me. In terms of personality, we do great together. Finally. Someone who understands what I mean when I say spend time alone, together. Ideally she'd be as into building random crap as I am. Not to mention, doing hallucinogens with myself would be pretty fun. Now, the problem would be that I'm a pretty shallow person. I'm not bad looking, so hopefully she wouldn't be either, but it's possible she may decide that I'm not hot enough. Or maybe she'll look just like me, and even if I'm not a bad looking dude, I'd make an ugly woman. Wow, absolutely. In fact, it's the majority of the actionable practical advice I get from people who have honest relationship advice for me. They say that I should get with a depressed person with Crohn's disease, who has severe social anxiety and is aromantic and wants a best friend for life, is self-sacrificing and interested in giving pleasure, is able to take care of themselves and works on themselves every day. But then they go into nonsense about how the man is the provider and has to have a job and a car and an education and enjoy life, while the woman has absolutely no such responsibilities, and I call BS, and then I begin to wish deeply that the female version of me would exist so that I can stop being miserable alone and we would build intelligent robot people together and rule the world. People can be so deluded that it makes me want to throw up and declare myself as a different species. I actually did, for a while, date a girl that was like my mirror copy. Not physically, but personality, worldview, attitude, opinions. Met at college. Hit it off amazingly, had so much in common, literally completing each other's sentences from get-go. Living the dream. But over the years, it ruined our relationship. It was an echo chamber. If there ever was a situation I couldn't handle, she couldn't either, and it would blow up. I couldn't appreciate the good in her because I was used to it in myself. Went our separate ways shortly after college. I still remember our time together fondly. But unless you both are the perfect human being, that kind of relationship doesn't work. I've been married to a woman that completes me for 11 plus years, and your response was the closest to what I attribute to our success. I'm brash and take risks while she is measured and cautious, but we find a way to make it work and fill in each other's grooves and dings. I think dating myself would be a wild ride, but ultimately be destructive. I need exactly the traits my wife brings to the table, which is why we work so well together. Everyone looking for a mirror image seems odd to me. Isn't the other person supposed to open up new ways of looking at things, teach you new things about yourself, and do the things you can't alone? I understand there has to be a baseline level of similarity, especially when it comes to values, but I feel like I just get bored talking to a copy or grow to resent the things in them I don't like about myself. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.